Hello, I am Arpita Bhattacharya, Assistant Professor of English of Swami Vivekananda Institute of Science and Technology. Today my topic is business correspondence or workplace communication. Business correspondence is part and parcel of an organization's workflow. Organizations cannot exist in isolation. Even if an organization existed in the middle of a faraway island, devoid of any contact with the outside world, yet it would need mechanisms to communicate, coordinate, and control the behavior of its employees to meet their goals and objectives. Today we are a part of society comprising towns and cities that are fast moving and technology savvy. Smaller towns are gaining momentum and trying to board the bandwagon of growth and prosperity. Business organizations are an integral part that this fast-moving society and own the responsibility of running their entities efficiently and providing a congenial environment for all their stakeholders. The way organizations communicate internally differs from the way they communicate with the outside world. Business letters are at the heart of business correspondence. Business communication is impossible without business letters that help organizations to interact and network with the outside world. Over a period of time, business letter formats have evolved and more meaningful and standard formats are in vogue nowadays. Inter-office memorandum or memos are used for communicating within the organization. Business correspondence or business communication is a method of formal communication in organizations. The basics of effective writing have already been discussed in the early parts of this lecture. In this lecture, I will go a step ahead and use the basic principles to communicate effectively within the outside organizations. There are several methods through which information flows in an organization. These includes letter, reports, memorandum, manuals, circulars, emails, etc. Each of these serve a specific set of purposes and a certain standard formats of composition. These days, to save time as well as resources, email has become a prime platform for such information sharing. Business communication must be precise and drafted carefully, keeping in mind the purpose of communication and the needs and the requirements of the receiver of the information. Letter writing requires knowledge of basic elements of letters. You must be aware of the purpose, structure, and main parts of a letter. Your letter must convey the message clearly and completely. It must reflect respect for the other party and must not contain offensive words and slangs. Ensures that you do check the spellings and grammar before you send it. In a nutshell, the receiver will be able to understand and respond to your message appropriately only if the message is clearly written, enabling him to comprehend it well. So in business organization, letter may be used for information sharing, welcoming, placing inquiry, congratulating, placing a complaint, requesting, placing orders, convincing, etc. So what should be the structure of the formal letter? What are the elements? A business letter comprises elements such as a letterhead, date line, references must be optional, inside address, salutation, subject line again optional, main body, complimentary clause, signature line, and list of enclosures again optional. So the optional elements may be placed as per the requirements of the letter as you know already. First, you should in the letterhead you should mention the date line, reference, inside address, salutation, subject line. You can write it, you may not write it. Main body, complimentary clause, signatures, enclosures. Enclosures are again optional. Right? Every letter has a letterhead or a heading that shows the organization address in full, including the contact numbers like phone number, fax number, if any, and email address. Letterheads usually contain the logo of the organization, thus the quality of paper, size, and alignment of text matter a lot. Large organizations may take the help of agencies nowadays to design their letterheads and choose appropriate design, color combination and text that is aligned with their values and core principles. Then deadline. Deadline refers to the complete date on which a letter is written. It includes the date, month, and year. There are two common styles and of writing dates, namely the British and American style. Both the styles are different in the sense that in British style, you know that the date comes first. In the American style, the month comes first. Then the restricted address notation, when the letter is intended to be read by only specified persons or a group of people. Addressee notation may be used like confidential, personal, through proper channel, etc. Reference a reference line may also be added in business letters to refer to any previous or series of previous communication on the matter. Then the inside address. Below the deadline comes the address of the recipient of the letter. It is always desirable to address it to the concerned person. Subject line is an optional part in business letter. This may be placed either above the salutation or below it. And salutation and appropriate salutation may be chosen based on the recipient of the letter, whether person or an organization, or if the specific addressee is not known. Then the main body. The main body of the letter conveys the message for which you have drafted the letter. If there are several sub-themes of the main theme to be presented in the letter, you may use different paragraphs for the same. Keep at least one line space between each paragraph. Your content must be clear and specific. Several examples of business letters in the subsequent section. Already I have mentioned the various kinds of business letter. And finally, complementary clause. Complementary clause is placed after the main body. Several words and phrases may be used for complementary clause like sincerely, regards, warm regards, thanks and regards, faithfully, yours faithfully, etc. Closing signature. Every business letter must be signed by the sender and must be placed after the complementary clause. The designation of the sender must be mentioned below the name. Enclosures. If you are sending some additional documents along with the letter, they should be represented as enclosures and placed at the bottom of the letter after the signature block. Right? So this is the format. You know that, and you also know that we should maintain formats of block format, mostly in the left aligned, you know that, and then the modified block format. There the signature part we usually right aligned, and semi-block format is similar to modified block format, except that the paragraphs are intended instead of left aligned. So this is all about the business letters. Already I have mentioned the category: sales letter, inquiry, complaint, credit, order placement, claim letters, job application, cover letters, designation letters, and thank you letters. Purpose: to advertise, inform, create awareness about new product, service, or enhance features of an existing product, to inquire about a product, to lodge a complaint, to extend or enhance credit facilities for placing orders for goods and services, to claim for refunds, damages, to apply for a job. They go along with a resume at the time for the job application of seeking employment, particularly for leaving the job voluntarily means resignation, to express gratitude and appreciation means thank you letter. So this is all about business correspondence. Thank you very much.